Okay. Alright, so since it's pretty late, I guess we're not going to have many viewers, but it's going to be a replay on catch, so let's get this show on the road. Alright. Hi everyone, my name is Manny, and you can catch me on ManiTheUncanny.com. About a few months ago, I would say sometime, I guess in December or January, I had done a blog post about crystal ball gazing and how to start out, how to choose your crystal ball, and basically going the ins and outs, the real basic stuff, and what to look for, how to consecrate programming it, and all that kind of stuff. So again, you can catch it on my website on ManiTheUncanny.com. Alright, so let me put this aside and let's get started with the basics. So now you got your crystal ball, you picked it out, you went to the store, you are really in tune with it, you've been practicing with it, you are best friends with it, you sleep with it, you practically are almost constantly with it. You know to put it in, when not in use, to put it into a bag, to whether it's red, white, or whatever preference color, but usually it's red, black, or white, depending. And so basically this is what you're going to be doing. Alright? Again, check out my website, ManiTheUncanny.com, for the basics. The blog is there. It talks about how to consecrate it, how to choose your crystal ball. But we're going to be basically jumping into right now how to be reading it. When I first started out with crystal ball gazing, it was accidental. I started working with stones more as a healing tool and for like runic purposes. And it was for like an addition to using my tarot cards, and I predominantly use the Spanish tarot versus the Rider-Waite. If clients prefer Rider-Waite, I will be using those, depending on the preference. And again, it depends on like their guides, their spirits, like what you're feeling at the time. So this was accidental, getting into this, and the way that it happened was that I was looking through in the gem stores, and I was just finding mostly like Reiki healing type of stones, and I was going through the spheres, and this particular one that you see before you, this one really called out to me, and it just clicked, it resonated with me. And you know how like in Wizard of Oz you see the witch's ball, and you're going to read books, by the way, and some of these books they're going to say what I'm telling you is wrong. This is what happened to me. This is my experience. This is my, you know, what happened to me. So don't knock it. I think it's different for everyone. But the way that it happened for me was that when I grabbed this this crystal, it looked like it was in black and white. It was sepia toned and looked like a TV screen. And I could literally see people walking in the crystal. I could see them talking. There was no audio, and it was just like, whoa. And it happened in 2 seconds while in the store, and I was like, whoa, there's something here. I don't know if it could have been the crystal or just something that it just was perfect. Had to get it, and I've been using this one ever since. And I've been working with it for, yeah, almost 5 years now. Yeah, about 5-6 years now. With crystal ball gazing, and at the time it happened instantaneously, but what I noticed over time was that it gets harder and harder because you're working with it so closely. What probably was easy for you in the beginning is now, because you're using that muscle more, you really need to exercise it. So that's what eventually happened for me. So I had to learn to do meditation techniques. I had to do breathing exercises. It became harder and harder, basically leveling out with the crystal ball. For most people, it's going to start off as silhouettes. It's going to look like when you're gazing into it, and your eyes are softening. I've heard people say that they see clouds. I never saw clouds. What I saw was mostly silhouettes, and like almost like a puppet show, black and white. And you're gonna see little symbols, and then eventually it's gonna start like moving. It's gonna be like I mentioned, like it's almost like a TV, black and white TV, or a black and white film from the 1920s or 30s. And but that's like if you're really, really into that groove, you're really into that headspace or that head trance. But predominantly from what I'm gathering from other people and other sources, they they can't get to that. That it's that there's no way, there's no such thing, or at least that it's ridiculous to get into and not to be able to do. But I tell you, it is possible if you really, really, really work at it and try it. It is possible. But for beginners or those who are really trying, you're going to see silhouettes, you're going to be seeing symbols. It's almost like tea leaf reading, and not to be discouraged by it. It's going to take a long time, and it's going to take practice, 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 practice. This particular one, like I said, I had for about 5-6 years. And I have so many stories with him that it's a him. And that's the other thing. This particular it depends on the crystal. They could come with their own spirits, or devdas, basically the spirit of the crystal, or your own spirit or your own guides coming through. And the particular one that comes through for me, he dresses up like in the 1920s, and he's like in a suit and tie. And we nickname him Lover, and he's very, well-to-do, and he's, humorous, and almost every client or whoever that I'm doing a reading for, all of a sudden they'll freak out because they'll see him popping out on the screen of the crystal. Like he lets himself be known to clients, which is interesting, and he basically goes hi. And usually that's a sign also of the crystal saying, okay, I'm waiting for your question. I'm waiting for your request. I'm waiting for what's the next thing that you want me to do. And usually it's like a charades game. Like they'll give you symbols and you say, okay, I have this particular client that he's looking at such and such. What can you tell me about the situation? You'll get names, you'll get numbers, you'll get details, unlike with the tarot cards. It's amazing how graphic and detailed you can get with crystal ball gazing, and it will just pop up. It'll start to glow. It'll start to vibrate. Sometimes you'll hear actual messages coming through, or it's just like writing on a screen, just like a computer screen, which is amazing. And I totally recommend just playing with it, fiddling around with it, and it's not gonna. You're not going to summon anything weird or invite anything, trust me. Been doing this about 5-6 years already with Lover, and it's amazing the readings that I get with him. I do the usual prayers, the cleansing, of course, before and after, and which you should always do, regardless. But yeah, there's nothing that had been that ever steps in or anything weird or anything that like is unusual. And that's basically it. But that's basic 101. That is very, very simple. If you have questions, please shoot me now and I can answer. Do anyone have questions right now? I see there's 5 of you. Do any of you have questions? Alright, when it comes to, that's a good question. Alright, when it comes to crystal balls, and I explained this in the blog post that I did about a few months ago, and everybody asked this question. Should I spend almost $1,000 on this, or should I spend only $100, $200? It really depends on you and the crystal. Now, some readers and some authors, I won't name names, whatever, they recommend, oh, you have to have a clear crystal. If you have a clear crystal, do you know how much it's going to be? You're going to be spending almost $1,000 to get a clear crystal. It's a near impossible. And truthfully, for me, for this one, he's a smoky quartz. as you can see, he has so many occlusions, he has so many flaws, and it's perfect for me because your eyes can rest on the light, on the nooks and crannies, on the silhouettes, and your mind will go. That's how it works for me. That basically I could sit and meditate on all these different imperfections and just focus on it, and all of a sudden I will see faces, I will see names, and it will just come in. There are those who like to work with, like, it's almost like a clear glass. Like, for example, there are those spirititas that work with water. I'll bring this over here. And it's good to have water, by the way, next to when you're doing readings to absorb whoever you're doing the reading for. You know, bad energy, because you don't know if they're clean or whatever, what they're going to bring into the reading. And also you could read from the bubbles and the vibration, what they bring to the plate, basically. But you can read the water. I've seen readers where they read the water with the tarot cards, and they didn't have to have a crystal. But they do have crystal balls that are just pure glass. It's up to you if you want. It's totally different, though, between a crystal and a crystal, sorry, not a crystal ball like what you see here, a real crystal, versus a glass ball. Glass balls is man-made, it's manufactured, totally different energy from a crystal, a real crystal, because it's from the earth, it's from Mother Nature, and it's, if we're talking scientifically, the atoms have been rearranged, and it's no longer a crystal, it's a man-made object, and the vibration is totally different. So when I hear of like Reiki healers or other energy workers who work with like aqua auras or any of these type of crystals that to me have been mutilated or changed, you know, or manufactured, or like goldstone or any of these, you know, the glass objects, to me it's totally, to me it's dead. I don't feel anything, but some people swear by it, and to each their own. But that's what I feel like. I feel like it's totally dead. But doesn't say that you can't work with it. But different energies. You're gonna get different connections, different messages, different outputs. But again, it's up to the reader. It's up to how you work with the spirit. Like for this one, I work with the spirit, the devda of the crystal, with a glass, with a crystal, with a glass. I should say glass ball versus a crystal ball, because this is a crystal ball. A glass ball is going to operate the same way as a glass of water, almost. And it's going to be basically you projecting your thoughts onto the glass, and you're basically, it's helping you to meditate, to focus, to get into that zone. And that's what basically the glass balls help to do. And they come in different ranges. Now, you don't need to get a huge crystal. You can get, this is between 2.5 to 3 inches in diameter. This is as big that you need. Anything bigger than that is ridiculous. Anything smaller than this, you're going to be straining your eyesight. Yeah, and this is a perfect range because of the price range also. Because, and like I said, anything like this, if it was clear, would be going upwards of, you know, $600-700, maybe, starting, going to thousands of dollars, which is ridiculous. I spent only like between $70 to $100 for this one, and some of them because of the hype, and now that we're getting for the last 5-6 years now, yeah, that there's been this revival or this crystal craze, and everybody wants to do crystals, and everybody wants to be a Reiki healer, and basically it has, you know, if you not notice, like just getting a quartz crystal point, which used to be like, I remember it was like $5-10, $75 the most. That same crystal can go for $300-400. No joke. Any other questions? Any clarification? I'm going to give you time for you guys to type. Alright, so what else? This is really interesting. Make sure that it's not something from the back there. No. Alright, like right now, I can see that there's like a man sitting at a desk, and like he's writing something, and he has what looks like a coat, and like I'm already seeing things right now as I'm talking to you guys. But basically, you have to be, like I said, you have to meditate. You have to be in it, like you start picking things up as things progress. So yeah, that's basically part 2. Check out part 1 on my website on ManiTheUncanny.com, and I will have part 3 on crystal gazing. And see you guys later. Bye.